Hi. Hey, little sunshine. Hey, hey! We are on the bluffs of Lake Michigan at Fisherman's Island State Park in Charlevoix. It is just gorgeous here. There's a lot of wind coming off the lake, and the surf is up, but it is beautiful. It creates white noise. Slept like babies last night. The wind is dry. There's not dew everywhere. I can touch the ground and not worry about bringing half of it with me. It's lovely.
You slept for 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours last night. It was a good night.
It was great.
We made it into Charlevoix. The Venetian Festival was going on, which created a little bit of rerouting, but not bad. A lot of people mulling about in the dampness.
We got to see the bridge go up and a boat go by.
Oh yeah, that was very nice.
Yep.
Got to see the bridge. Today we're heading to Traverse City, and what did I say, 53?
52.
52 miles, all road. So we're gonna be on the road a lot today, which I don't love, but we will probably make decent time being on the road. Headed to Traverse City State Park, and we'll see what time we get there and determine what we're gonna do. We'll see you on the trail. Here in Michigan. Stopped in Elk Rapids at Chef Charles for lunch, some pizza. Mark didn't like the crust.
I like the crust fine.
Oh, you hated the crust.
I did, he was lazy.
You were complaining about the crust the whole time. In Acme, but we stopped at the Music House Museum. This place is amazing. I don't know how I'm gonna stop myself from being there every day the rest of my life. That's how good it is. We spent probably 2 hours there. You pay 12, was it 12 bucks?
12 bucks for
12 bucks for an hour-and-a-half guided tour. Player pianos and Nickelodeons, and it's amazing. Automated organs, it's fantastic. Well worth the stop. We arrived at the Traverse City State Park at 4:15 and headed into Traverse City for dinner at Subway quickly before we went and saw Mission Impossible at the Cherry Blossom 14 in IMAX.
Also awesome.
Also awesome.
Don't forget the little girl.
Ah, the little girl. So when we first were riding into camp, this little girl who was also riding a bicycle, an upright bicycle, looked at us and just said,
"Ah, that's smart."
Yeah.
Her entire life up to that point has been a lie.
She's like, I think she's gonna be riding a Bent at some point in her life. All right, well, we're on our last day, but I'm gonna give you some details from yesterday. We left Charlevoix yesterday morning about 8:45. We arrived at the Traverse City State Park at 4:15 yesterday afternoon.
And then, when we got to our campsite...
Oh yeah, we got to our campsite and someone was living there. You know, Michigan has a policy that if you ride up on a bicycle, they will find you a place. And so the state park has a bike loop, which I think had been abandoned for decades. It really didn't look like anybody had been back there forever. It was essentially an abandoned playground. They still had the bones from the old swing set, and a sand pit, and that's where you put your tent. But anyways, we were glad to have it. We pulled back there. Well, when we checked in the ranger station, he's like, "Oh, I haven't checked anybody in there in 3 months. Nobody ever rides their bikes here," which I thought was odd. But if you're touring, tour Traverse City. It's very nice. Anyway, so we said we haven't checked anybody in here in 3 months. So we pulled back there. When you finally find it, it's a dodgy little path that you hardly see, that was ill-described at the ranger station. We get back there and there's this guy sitting in 2 lawn chairs. He's got 2 tents set up. And I don't know, like, well, all right, whatever. So we move on a little bit further and set our tent up, and then a ranger guy shows up and he's like, did you guys check in? And we're like, yeah. I showed him my papers, and he calls back to the ranger, did you check somebody into the bikers section, bikers loop? Yeah, I did. All right, just 2 guys? Yeah, just 2 guys. So he gives us all this grief, and then he goes to the other guy. And then backup shows up.
there were at least 4 of them.
Apparently this guy had been living back there for an unknown amount of time, because he had a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
No car, just a bicycle with no baggage on the bicycle.
He had a tool shed.
Yeah, his second tent looked kind of like a little tool shed, I don't know. But they kicked him out, and which was unfortunate, because he seemed like a nice guy. Down on his luck maybe. He's yeah, that was our excitement at the Traverse City State Park. So now I'm gonna go. So here we are today. It is Sunday, last day of the trip. We are just sitting here between Kingsley and Fife Lake. We finally found a spot of shade. Hopefully the owner of the house here doesn't mind us sitting here, but we're in the shade.
This morning we got up, and for breakfast,
Bob Evans. Bob Evans. We decided just to ride over to Bob Evans before we even packed up our gear and enjoy Bob Evans breakfast. Saw my friend Marie. Hi, Marie. Then we went back to camp, packed up, and headed out. We departed the camp at about 9:10 this morning. Woke up nice and early to the lovely sound of jets taking off right next to our head.
And when there wasn't jets taking off, they were using their impact wrenches to...
Oh yeah, to take down the
trailers.
Today, last day, it is Sunday. If Scotty were here, he would remind me to say, at least we're happy to be seeing our families. But he's not here, so I don't know what to say. It is the last day. It's always bittersweet on the last day. You know, you are excited to see your family. You're excited to be home and sleep in a bed. That's nice, but it's the last day of tour, and being on tour is a special time. It's a free time. It is it's just a good time. You don't know what you're gonna see. You don't know what you're gonna do. You just live life for every day, and you're thankful every day, and you're thankful when it's raining, and you're thankful when it's not. It's a good time being on tour. If you haven't done it, do it. You know, I can't tell you how many people, oh, you guys are on bikes. It's on my bucket list to go 10 miles on a bicycle or whatever. I bought a new bike 3 years ago. It sits in my garage, and I've always said I was gonna ride the 2 miles to work, but I never do. Just do it. What's stopping you? It's worth it. I mean, there's always gonna be obstacles. There's always obstacles to anything. There's always I mean, every day we get up and be like, oh man, looking at this, we're gonna be uphill the whole way.
There's always a fender in a tree.
There's always a fender in a tree. But you just gotta do it. There's a million reasons why you shouldn't do it, but there's 1,000,003 why you should. So just go out and do it, and you may find that, you know, if it's not your thing, great. But if it is, you may find you've been missing out on something for a long time, and it's worth getting on your bicycle and experiencing the world from a different perspective. That's the thing. You know, I live not far from Traverse City, and we're there all the time. But yesterday, riding through Traverse City on a bicycle, I got a whole different perspective of the world I live in, and things I didn't even know existed that I'm looking forward to sharing with my family. So, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Anyway, heading home. Today is a 29-mile day, mostly uphill. I think we're through the worst of the uphill at this point. 3 Mile Road in Traverse City, that thing is uphill the whole way. I mean, it was a lot of uphill. But we're here. I don't know what we're planning on. You know, we may prolong the trip a little bit, stop in Fife Lake. I don't know. Thinking a little ice cream today.
It'd be the last ice cream. The
last ice cream. Maybe we'll stop at the Fife Lake Dairy Bar and shout out to them. Spend a lot of time at the FLDB. Grab some ice cream before we head home, and we're heading home. Mark, you want to come over and say anything to say goodbye to the people?
I got nothing to say. Bye.
All right, very good. Very good. Well, we'll see you on the trail. Had a very nice breakfast with Bob Evans.
I specifically did not want the goat cheese on my omelet.
Talked him into the goat cheese, and he's been whining about the stupid goat cheese. You stupid whiny goat cheese eating whiner.
I didn't want it. I clearly didn't want it.
Just live with the goat cheese.
I didn't want it. They said I wanted it. I said, okay, let's have it, and then I didn't want it.
It added a nice bit of tang to that omelet. So you just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.